Have you ever wondered why the vowel letters in English are pronounced A, E, I, O, U, whereas in most other languages that use the Latin alphabet, they're A, E, I, O, U? Well, the answer is the Great Vowel Shift. Here's an excerpt from a video I made a couple of years ago explaining the shift in terms of a kind of World War II style public service announcement.
It's a public service announcement. The Great Vowel Shift will take place between 1400 and 1700 today. This will affect long vowels only. Please do not make any changes to short vowels, since this would lead to confusion. To maintain communication during the transition, vowels need to be shifted in the correct order. We shall start with the E sound in beat, as in does your dog beat? Some of you have already started to say beat. Keep that going through beat, arriving at bite by 1700. At the same time, you can start to change long oo, as in boot, like a boxing boot or a boot of the flu. This should be ow by 1700. Here too, you can transition through oo and o if you wish. By the end, the sentence Ur hus is a very, very, very nice house should have become our house is a very, very, very nice house. Once you are comfortable with I and ow, you will notice we no longer have words pronounced E and oo. That's all right. We can start to fill those spots with words like bait and boat, saying beat and boot instead. Congratulations, that is the end of phase 1. This must be well underway by 1500, after which you can sit down with a nice cup of tea. Once you are well rested and you and your family are comfortable with the changes in the first phase, we can embark on the second. Here, we will make a slight change to the long vowel in mat, as in friend. We shall say mat for a while. Then you can start moving this towards mate. If you find this gets confused with mate, as in the flesh of animals, you can start moving that into the space left by mate, which is now pronounced meat. So instead of let's mate at the mate counter mat, we have let's meet at the mate counter mate. After another tea break, you can complete the process by merging mate with meat and moving mate to where mate used to be. Let's meet by the meat counter mate.
So that was a kind of overview of what happened, but it doesn't answer the question why it happened. And no, it wasn't some government edict or king or queen who decided that they suddenly wanted to dictate how everyone spoke, because that pretty much wouldn't work anyway. We're not really sure why it happened, but there are some factors that might have contributed. One potential reason was the Black Death. The Black Death. And you've got to hand it to these medieval folks. I mean, you know, when they named pandemics, they didn't do it in half measures. People must have really taken that seriously. So what happened with the Black Death was lots of people died, and the people that we're all descended from, if you have any European ancestry, the people who survived were then in great demand because, you know, there was no workers. So people moved from all kinds of parts of the country. There was a lot of mixing. And that's one of the things that causes linguistic change. You get dialect levelling, where, you know, new communities establish their new identity by starting to speak in a similar way. London became this melting pot of people moving in, especially from the East Midlands, from the rest of southern England, and that became the prestige way of speaking. So, you know, people wanted to say, I'm upwardly mobile, I'm urban and sophisticated, so they would imitate that way of speaking. Once a change starts happening, it then develops a dynamic of its own. You know, once that first vowel started to shift, the rest just followed, because as I said in the video, you know, there's a gap in a system, and so the system kind of reorganizes itself to become the most efficient and effective way of communicating. There's also a theory that moving up in the vowel space made communication clearer in urban environments, which, I don't know, it's plausible. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed that, and check out this video next, and I'll see you soon. Bye and take care.